Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another figure unboxing video, and today I am very excited because we're going to be taking a look at the GxMateria Gotenks. I've had this guy in storage for a little bit and I've been really meaning to take a look at him for quite some time. I've been fiending to jump into a GxMateria figure, so we are going to hop into my man today. I am very excited for this figure because not only do I not really have that many Gotenks figures in my collection, I actually think I only have one, which I'm pretty sure is just the Grandista one. I would like to get the original Master Stars Peace one someday, the base form one, because that is a really nice figure. Funny enough, I had an opportunity to buy it before I started collecting figures, but obviously back then I wasn't really thinking about collecting as much as I do today. So as well with this figure, this guy actually came out quite a little bit ago in terms of like the range of when the GxMateria figures have released. We've had a couple of releases since this guy, and he definitely was not the first GxMateria figure either. He was kind of like a middle of the road release for where we're at, I suppose you would say, in terms of what has released since when. But of course, this figure was sculpted by the one and only Varroque Varquo. Still don't know how to pronounce my man's name because he sculpts every figure in this line. And as much as I am actually looking forward to this figure, from the production images, I gotta say, I think this may be like my personal least favorite GxMateria figure. Now, I don't think that that means that the figure is bad by any means, right? Don't get it twisted. It's just my least favorite out of the line. It's like when you have to pick a least favorite out of your favorite things, right? Obviously, something has to be at the bottom, and it seems like that this figure is it. However, after we take a look at him today, maybe that opinion will change. So let's go ahead and get my man out. Free my man. Where is the hole? There we go. I'm looking. I always like to rip it at like the little hole that they have for everything here. Look at how tiny his Obi belt is. Holy cow, that's funny. Okay. And then of course we have the Ghost, which I'm actually honestly more excited for than Gotenks because of course we never get figures of the Ghosts themselves. Wow, that looks sick. Look at my mans. Look at my mans. That's so cool. I love the way that they painted the eyes. Ooh, don't drop them. I love the way that they painted the eyes with more of like this blue, right? I think that's a very nice change of pace. Yeah, this is cool. He also has a little bit of sparkles in him too, if you can see that. And that's obviously more of like akin to how the GxMateria line does things because they always have a little bit of sparkle in their effects. Alright. And then we have the main man himself, Gotenks. So yeah, this is a pretty cool figure. Obviously, you guys probably already know that this is like the one figure line that I would love to get every single figure from just because I really like this line. It's definitely my favorite modern day figure line. I guess I'm not calling the Grandista line anymore modern since we've had it for so long. By the way, on the bottom there, if you can see that, it doesn't want to focus. I don't blame you, bro. Not wanting to focus on Bandai. Bandai Spirits. So let's see. How does this work here? We have these two peg holes. And I'm assuming that this one is... Yeah, so this one has a little, like, dent in it. So then this must go here. Yes, okay. And then this one must go here. This is like a child trying to put him in the properly shaped hole. Okay, let's take a look at Gotenks before we actually put him on the stand. Here is the main man himself. I do like the look of this guy overall, if the camera would focus on him. Thank you, brother. I think that he is sculpted incredibly well, right? I will say, at least with the final product, right? There is... Oh, that's a little bit of a scuff on the back. That's unfortunate. That's just a production error, unfortunately. His face, like... I don't know. There's something a little bit off about it, in my opinion. Maybe it's just me. Like, I think this angle looks really good. But I don't know. Something about his face, just a little bit, to me, looks a little bit off. I don't know. You can tell me in the comments if you agree with me on that one. But, yes, I don't know. Something about his face just to me looks a little bit off, right? It's not like bad by any means, and it's certainly not the worst figure that I've ever seen either. But definitely, right, definitely a little bit strange. Interesting also, he's just flat-footed. So if you really wanted to, you could like figure out a way. Can he stand on his own? No, he cannot, unfortunately. You could figure out a way to display this guy by himself. Let me see. Does the ghost have... Yeah, okay. So I was trying to figure out what goes where. He also has a little knob in there that looks like it's perfect to fit here. This is a weird figure. I don't think I've seen a figure like this before, actually. Where like it just goes on the stand, but the feet are just flat on the stand like this. This is really strange, honestly. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a figure like this. Like, I've seen it where they plug into the stand, or like they're up in the air on the stand, but I don't think I've ever seen it where they're just like flat-footed and they basically just sit on the stand connected to a peg like this. This is definitely kind of interesting, if I do say so myself. Alright, so let's go ahead and plug my man in now with the ghost here. This one, at least, the nice thing about this figure, I suppose, is you're really not building anything, right? Like with a lot of the other GxMateria figures, you're kind of building the pieces, right? But with this one, you're absolutely not doing that. How does this go in? Did I mess this up somehow? How does the ghost go in? Oh, no, there we go. Ooh, that is a very tight fit. Yeah, once you get it on there, that definitely fits well, but it is a little bit of a tight fit. I will be worried how this peg will stand up over the future. This guy isn't like crazy heavy in terms of his weight, right? He's definitely not like the heaviest figure in the world, but I will be a little bit worried how that stands up over time, basically just holding his weight. The only unfortunate thing is I love the clear aesthetic with this, but you can actually see in there, right? You can kind of see the black peg that's just jammed into him. And I guess that's more of Bandai being cheap, you know, with their stands and whatnot. But yeah, this is really cool. I honestly like this a lot with the way that they basically just have them on the same stand like this, just kind of plugged in. I think that's really, really cool. Definitely a very good representation of the funny ghost and Gotenks here. Alright, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons now. Of course, as per usual, we have our Ichiban Kuji Gotenks. How fitting for today. And we have our Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Actually, I should probably take some pictures with this Gotenks for the pictures section. I didn't even think about that. But I guess that's what we're doing for today, ladies and gentlemen. So here we have these guys next to our usuals. Obviously, he is not that big. This is definitely a pretty small figure. You can see that next to the WCF figure, he is actually pretty comparable. Though, of course, he is a much bigger girth. And you also get the Gotenks with him. He is only about... On camera, it looks like he's about 5 inches, and I would say that's about correct. Yeah, about 5 inches tall. But keep in mind, right, even though he is only 5 inches tall, he does have quite a bit of length on him. With the ghost. Look how far the ghost reaches right here, right? He's a pretty long figure, especially with the obi belt at the end. So let me actually throw a couple of pictures on the screen with the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Usually the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks figure doesn't really like fit with anything that we're looking at today, but that actually works quite well. I kind of didn't even think about that until I put him down, because I'm so used to this Gotenks just being like the, oh, here's the size comparison figure type of thing. So yeah, these guys actually do look pretty cool together. They have a pretty similar hair color. They both sort of do like the darker at the base and then a little bit lighter towards the tips. Though I do think that the regular Super Saiyan Gotenks is a bit more consistent on the color scheme overall, which I don't think is a good or bad thing. I think it's just a different way to do the figure. Both of the jackets look really good, but I think the finer details are a lot more apparent on the GxMateria Gotenks than the Ichiban Kuji one. Okay, speaking of Gotenks, we do actually have one more Gotenks figure to exchange, sure, something like that, to show you here. Of course, we have the Grandista Gotenks. besides Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, which I actually forgot about, this is the only other Gotenks figure in my collection here. Obviously, this guy has the base form head and the Super Saiyan head, but I have the Super Saiyan head on him, and that feels very appropriate for today's video. I don't know. This is a little bit of a toss-up for me, because obviously the GxMateria line is great. And as well, the Grandista line is great, and they both kind of do different things, right? Like, the Grandista line is supposed to be sort of a more static pose, but it's just like a good representation of the character at like a pretty good height, right? But the GxMateria line is a lot more action-packed and has some really cool effects behind it. I don't know. I really like both of these figures. I may actually like the GxMateria one better, funny enough. I don't know. The more I look at him, the more I like him. I will say I would honestly prefer if the GxMateria one had the hair color of the Grandista one, because I definitely like that more brighter yellow than the mustardy yellow. It always feels like it's a bit of a cheaper paint job on the figure when you see that color. Though, I will say, in terms of the yellow jacket, I actually think that the color on the GxMateria one fits him a lot better in terms of referencing the source material, because that bright yellow that's on the Grandista one feels a lot more akin to the Dragon Ball Super Gogeta's jacket. And for our final figure for today, I had to bring out one GxMateria figure. I do apologize that he doesn't have the last little thing on his Kamehameha. If you remember this unboxing video, mine actually broke taking it out, and the ball doesn't hold all 4 of the Kamehameha beams appropriately, so you're just going to have to bear with me on having the 3 there. But these guys do look pretty cool together, and funny enough that I was talking about the hair color with the Gotenks figure, this Gohan actually has the hair color that I would have wanted on the Gotenks here. So why did they put it on him? I don't know. This would have been a lot closer to what I would have wanted in terms of the hair color. But both of these figures are really, really cool. Even though they are both from the same line, they do feel a little bit different. I feel like Gohan is just brighter overall, which is kind of an interesting thing. But it is cool to see that the GxMateria line wasn't just like beams and Kamehameha effects. They decided to mix it up into a lot of different effects. Obviously, this Ghost is definitely a very big example of that. I know for like Kid Goku, we also have the little grade 8 face, right? For Krillin, he's doing the Kienzan, I believe. So bunch of different stuff that they decided to do with this line, which I really enjoy. You know, it makes it feel a lot more fresh. Like the Vegito as well coming up has the Spirit Sword. Bunch of good stuff from this line for sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I most certainly did. I'm very glad I cracked into this guy because I really, really like this figure. If you would like to pick this guy up, of course, I will leave some links in the description where you can do so. And if he's available on Amazon, excuse me, if he's available on Amazon, Jeff Bezos is coming back to haunt me, bro. You can pick him up from there, and I get a little bit of an extra cut with no extra cost to you. And if you would like to support the channel, I do have a Patreon specifically for the figure unboxing channel. So if you would like to support me, go ahead. But you guys watching the videos is what I appreciate the most. I definitely really like this figure. I'm very glad that I cracked into him. I definitely wish that his colors were a little bit more brighter and that the hair was a little bit less mustardy yellow. But overall, I still really, really like this guy. And I think the sculpt, and especially the work on the Ghost, definitely makes up for the shortcomings of this figure. And overall, right, I'd rather the paint job not be as good in terms of the colors than be shoddy and also the figure look bad. You know what I mean? So I think overall, I'm very pleased with this guy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Dokkan, it's out. Peace.